Video, I'm going to talk to you about a concept that I've been doing for quite a few years, but I didn't actually know I was doing it until a couple months ago. And I'm going to talk to you about how valuable this is here in this video. It's simply just waiting for everything to align before entering a trade. Simply put, if you're starting your analysis on the daily and you think price is going to go up for whatever reason, bouncing off a support zone, it's in an uptrend and it's just pulled back and now it's starting to go back the other way. The daily chart, you think it's going to go up. Make sure on the 4-hour chart, it's also, you think it's going to go up. Make sure on the 1-hour chart, you actually think it's going to go up at that specific time. And then you just kind of work your way down. I use all the way down to the minute, 15 and 5-minute chart. And I just kind of make sure that everything aligns before entering the trade. That's it. That's the whole point of this video. You don't even have to watch the rest of the video if you want. However, I'm going to go into a lot more detail and actually show you some examples and stuff of stuff that I've actually done. I actually do all this stuff and trade live, and I have been doing this live for like 5.5 years in my free Telegram channel. If you click the link in the first link in the description of this video, it takes you to my website. And if you just click this button right here, my free Telegram channel, it'll take you to this page. You click view in Telegram, and it'll take you to my channel here. It's like 57,000 members at the time making this video. I share all the trades I take. I share all the analysis. This morning we took trades on GBP CAD. So I put on the minute 5 GBP CAD's ready. On the daily, GBP CAD's ready, and GBP CAD jumped up, spiked up. I made $6,000 on this trade, or just over 1 unit of risk, because right now I'm risking about $5,000 per trade. I share analysis, so like EJ bouncing up, everything going in one direction, and this one worked out too. It's bounced up. The whole point of this channel is to help you see everything that I'm doing live in real time, and by the first link in the description, you can literally join right now for free. You can be in there in like the next 10 seconds. So that being said, since I actually practice this and actually show you it live every single day, I'm going to go into some of the nuances behind it. That way you can kind of understand and get a feel for it. So when you start analysis, if you just start on the 1 minute time frame and you try to trade on there, there's a lot of people profitable that are doing that. If you just trade on the daily time frame, there's a lot of people that are also profitable doing that. I have been able to shorten my average trade duration to the same day in most cases, and only every now and then now, like 1 out of every 10 trades on average, I have to hold past the session changeover and past like the end of the day. So I used to be taking trades where I would be in a trade on the daily or 4-hour chart that would take sometimes a couple days to a week or two to play out. Now, literally most of my trades happen on the same day. I've made like $60,000 just in the past 2 weeks, actually more than that technically, like $68,000 over the past 2 weeks just doing this, and most of my trades have been like the same day. I've entered and then exited them. The trade I took this morning was complete in 5 minutes. I got lucky on a news spike, but most of the time, even without news or anything, the trade only takes a couple hours to play out. I'm done for the day. I get out, and it's all because I'm waiting for everything to align before actually entering a trade. So I'm going to give you an example of a place to start. Okay, so we're on Euro JPY. Let's take this all out to the big higher time frames, right? When you go to the daily chart, where do you think this is going long term? Do you think long term, based on just right now on the daily chart, you think it's more likely to go up, or do you think it's more likely to go down like this? Most people who understand basic trend analysis would probably say something more or less like, I think it's probably going to go up. Maybe since it just made a higher high, it might pull back first and then it might go up. But overall, I think most people are probably going to be saying, yeah, the trend is pretty obvious. It looks like price is just making higher highs and higher lows. I think it's going to go up. So here's what I'm saying. Whenever you think price is going to go up, make sure that everything kind of suggests the same thing whenever you start clicking through the time frames. So the daily chart, you think it's going to go up. Very simple idea. On the 4-hour, it's also going up. On the 1-hour, it's also going up. On the 15-minute, we're currently going sideways. So, and the same sort of thing on the 5-minute. So it's going sideways in the 5-minute. So the idea would be wait until everything starts to align. You've already got everything on the daily, 4-hour, 1-hour, but you go to the 15-minute and 5-minute, it kind of looks like it's going sideways for right now. If it was not going sideways for right now, you would see it making higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and it would do this over and over again. So the idea would be wait until this time frame, like 5-minute and 15-minute, wait till it all starts doing the same thing. So this time frame would have to have price going up, down, up, down, and once it starts doing like this again and starts doing this little set of higher highs and higher lows, that's kind of the opportune time to trade, because if you know, like if you buy right there and you place your stop Sometimes I'll do it right under the previous low, but most of the time it's underneath the next zone. So I'll place the stop like underneath, like not the stop, but the invalidation, the point at which I invalidate the trade, where I usually close the trade at a loss. Some people just say it's where they put their stop loss. I usually put it underneath like one of the last two lows. That just gives me a little bit of insulation in case it like pulls back a little bit deeper, but it still makes a higher low and still goes up. Just gives me a little bit of room. So the cool part about this is that you have ideas that align across multiple time frames, so that everybody who's trading on the 5 minute all agrees it's going to go up. It's in an uptrend. The 15 minute, the 1 minute, the 4 hour, the daily, everything sort of, there's a lot of volume, there's a lot of fuel to the fire for the case that it's likely to go in one direction over the other. Obviously, when you do this, nobody knows what the hell's going to happen, but it just positions you better from a risk structure perspective if you wait for everything to align. I'm going to give you an example of the trade I literally took today doing exactly this. GBP CAD on the daily chart, I just think price is more likely to go up. We've had kind of this patchy, rangy uptrend, but we're still making higher highs and higher lows. What really got me going here was in the 4 hour, was seeing this really clear set of higher highs and higher lows, right? I mean, it's pretty, so most people looking at this, they would probably say, well, it's not a downtrend, and it's not really a range either. It just looks like sets of higher highs and higher lows. Same thing on the 1 hour chart. Same thing on the 15 minute. And this is where I enter the trade. So if we go down here to the 5 minute, it doesn't matter how low you go for this. You can use 5, 15. In fact, we'll just do 15 because it's no big deal. Price had broken above these previous highs, was retesting and bouncing right here. So what I did, I thought, this is when I was looking at this trade at the time I was taking it this morning, everything from the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 15 minute, the 5 minute, literally every damn time frame was aligning and suggesting, hey, we're making higher highs and higher lows. So what I did is when I first saw this, it was like right here. I thought I was going to wait for it to go make a higher high, then pull back, then I was going to enter. But instead it came back close to this support zone. And then I bought right here at the support zone. My invalidation was below this current support zone where price was at, and underneath the previous lows right here. And that was a 5K risk. So whenever price came in here and started hitting this zone, I think I entered just a little bit above it like that because I didn't think it was going to come all the way back in. And then as soon as I entered, like literally it took 5 minutes, 5 minutes later, the new spike came out and it just showed that price was just spiking up into profit super, super quick. This doesn't always happen. This is kind of an outlier because there's like less than 2 out of 10 trades will actually do this, but that was the whole analysis, right? It's just everything aligned. There's a trade I took yesterday as well on USD JPY. And keep in mind, I call these trades out in the free Telegram channel. You can just see the analysis every day. That way you can see me do this live. Just follow me for a year there. I literally just share all the analysis. It's fine. I've been doing this for like 5.5 years on the channel. So price was going up. Everything from the daily, right? The daily's going up. The 4 hours going up. The 1 hour's going up. The 15 minutes going up. The 5 minutes going up, right? So all this was the case. So I entered a buy position as price started going up. Had my stop loss below. I actually think my first position was down here. My second position was added after it pushed up here, and then it came back, and then I added as it was going up. So when price pushed up here, it made a higher high. I closed, and then fortunately yesterday I closed, and then it ended up having this huge crash. I'll literally show you these exact trades how I call them. I call them in it's one of the services that I do called Mission FX Close Friends. I'll literally show you the whole trading history here. So yesterday around 6:40 a.m., I put on long USD JPY, 60 lots, 12 pip invalidation, and a 5K risk. So just like I was showing you, I bought right there. My invalidation was underneath those lows. And this was the trade that I had entered. I added to it right here as it started pulling back and rejecting and going back up. Put that I added. Then as it started going up, I put in a stop loss and take profit. And those are both the positions. And then I closed USDJPY here. So this trade only took 2 hours. That's the beauty of waiting for everything to align from my experience, is you don't have to wait as long. You can still just trade daily in 4 hours. It still works. You just have to be a little bit more patient and keep your stop losses and profit targets a little bit wider to give the market a little bit of room to kind of play out. But by timing it a little bit better, by waiting for everything to kind of start doing the same thing before you enter, it just makes things play out so quicker. This is literally 2 hours later, not even 2 hours later. This was about 1.5 units of reward profit since I risked 5K on this. Then I closed it. I was like a $7,000 winner. I went long on USDJPY, sorry, EuroJPY. EuroJPY had pulled back, started to reject. I got long. Closed this one shortly after. This one turned out to be pretty much a break even. It was technically a $1,000 profit, but that's so close to break even, I just call it break even. This was the trade I was telling you about this morning, GBP CAD. So as you can see, it was going in an uptrend on the 5 minute, and just like I already showed you, the daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, everything was doing an uptrend as well. That was the actual entry. This right here is the buy, and this is my terminal and everything. Whenever I call trades here in Mission FX Close Friends, I share literally everything. I've been doing this for like a year and a half now. I've been running this group, calling every single trades live. I put on long GBP CAD with 40 lots. When I call invalidation, that's like my way of saying stop loss. I don't actually trade with hard stops usually. Sometimes I'll put the stop losses and profit targets in, but usually I just kind of like watch it and set alerts to manage. But I'll still gotta calculate the lot size, so I use the invalidation as to calculate the risk. It's essentially the same thing as a stop loss, except I just don't put it in. So then I closed GBP CAD here. If you look at this trade, 7:25 to 7:30 a.m. This was a trade that took 5 minutes. I made $6,000 in 5 minutes. Now, if you think that's just an outlier, let me just scroll back up here to somewhere random. So this was like a week ago. So on November 8th, I put on long USD CAT, 20 lots, 30 pip invalidation, 5K risk. You'll see this is a 5 minute chart. If we go back to USD CAD, let's just go glance at what the daily's been doing. So kind of like a rangy uptrend, right? The 4 hour was going up. The 1 hour was going up. If you look at the 1 hour, this has all happened afterwards, but this is around, so this is the 8th right here. At that time, price was going up. It was in an uptrend. At that time, the 15 minute was an uptrend. The 5 minute was in an uptrend. Literally every single thing was in an uptrend. So that's where I entered. That's a picture. So the screenshot's on the 30 minute. That's my terminal. This is when the account's at like 133,000 right now. This is last week when it was at 111. That's where I entered. As it started to go up more, I added to the position. So I added to the winning trade. It was in $2,000 profit there. At this point, I set a stop loss and a take profit. It was in 4,000 profit. And then I'm closing the trade here. I closed it just before the take profit just a little bit because it had made a higher high, and that was the profit target. And how long did this trade take from the moment I entered? Well, from the moment I entered, this was at 8:56 a.m., so pretty much 9 a.m. And this is where I closed. So at 11. So it took about 2 hours for the trade to play out. And it went up. I closed it there. This was the P&L. It was about 2 units of profit. As you can see, when I have losses, not all the time, but most of the time, my losses in terms of monetary amounts are generally smaller than what I win on my winning trades. When I win on my winning outcomes, I make at least usually 1 R, so at least 5K most of the time. And then oftentimes when I've added to the trade, I can make anywhere from 10, 15, 20K, just depending on how much profit the trade gives me. But when I lose, they're typically, like I think this cumulatively is like $6,000, so a little over 1 R. So it's like, yeah, and then when I win, like I won all this other trade, so like 15 grand from all this stuff, bringing me to about 10 grand on the day minus swaps and commissions. So that's what I do over and over and over. It's the same thing. If you're struggling doing this, just follow my free Telegram channel. I literally just post it all, and I try to keep it real short and sweet, real simple. All the exact specifics I do, I call out in the Mission FX Close Friends group. You'll see me post about that at some point if you're in the free Telegram channel, so you could just wait for that, or it's on my website if you click the first link in the description. But follow my free Telegram for a while and just like kind of watch it happen live every single day. Once you start doing this, I think it will do a couple things. I can't guarantee you anything. I'm not a financial advisor, so don't listen to anything I say. This is just for information and entertainment purposes only. So yeah, just risk disclaimer here. Trading is risky. Most people lose money. Just saying. Most people really suck at doing a lot of things in life. Trading is no different. Trading is really, really hard. Less than 10% of people on average make money if you're looking at the worst metrics. That all being said, I find that personally, in my opinion, from my experience trading but close to 8 years in trading, I found that if you wait for everything to align, the trades just tend to be less of a pain in the ass. It also prevents you from having to hold trades for a long period of time. Again, nothing wrong with just trading on one time frame, right? That's oftentimes a great place for people to start because it gives them a simple, predictable way of doing things over and over. But as you start to develop a little bit more experience and you learn the nuances and subtleties associated with trading, you start to notice like, okay, if I think that the daily chart is going up because it's bouncing at a major support zone or it's in an uptrend on the daily, and then I go to the 4 hour and the 1 hour and the 15 minute and the 5 minute, and they're all doing the same damn thing, it just typically helps your trades work out a little bit better. I'm sure there's times where you've gotten into trades where you look on the daily and 4 hour and you think the idea is going to play out, right? Maybe you think it's going to go down, it's at a resistance, or it's in a downtrend or some shit like that. Then you go to the 1 hour, but the 1 hour kind of looks like it's going in an uptrend, or it just looks like it's in a range and it's not really having a clear direction. Whenever you do stuff like that, there's nothing wrong with it per se, because there's no absolutes in trading. There's nothing black and white, right? It's all just everyone's opinion, right? It's just my opinion. But whenever you do stuff like that, it just seems to be more of a pain in the ass from my experience. My trades statistically last year used to take anywhere from 1 to 5 days for most of them to play out. And there was some of them I would be in for a couple weeks, like 2 to 3 weeks. It was one of them during Christmas last year. Shouldn't have even been trading for Christmas, but I was in that damn trade for like 5 weeks and like multiple positions, and it ended in break even, and I paid a ton of swap fees and commissions. It was a complete nightmare. Had I just simply exercised what I knew my intuition was telling me the whole time, which was, hey dude, like, yeah, technically this is a good setup from the daily and 4 hour charts, but the 1 hour, the 15 minute, it's all doing the opposite of the shit you think that's going to happen on the higher time frames. When stuff like that's happening, I just prefer to just leave the market alone. I just prefer to like not trade that given asset, that currency pair, that stock, that crypto, whatever the hell it is. I just prefer to just not trade it and just wait for an opportunity where I can position myself in the context of everything aligning in one direction. Those trades I think work out so much easier. I objectively know that they take way less time statistically for me personally. And the last thing is that I do think that it can make you a lot more profitable if you start implementing this in a contextually appropriate way. So that being said, if you'd like to follow me do all this on my Telegram channel, hit the first link in the description. It'll take you to my website, click the free Telegram thing, and boom, you're in. You can be in 10 seconds. You can watch me do this live every day. That's all. If you like this video, good. See you in the next one. Bye.